once I write it all out, I've been doing it every night.
I know.
Every night. It's like, I just like to do that as an extra little detail. Just an extra little, just really dotting all your I's, crossing all your T's, so I feel good.
I don't know if it's I'm losing my memory or whatever it is, but it's like I need bullet points up there. Let me get you some of this.
Do you take any nootropics?
I take nothing.
Okay, this is what you're going to get. I'm going to give you this. Just take this one, and I'll get you some more. I'll send you some more. That's Alpha Brain. That's on it.
Really
that's
feeling
the black label Alpha Brain. That is the top of the food chain Alpha Brain, the strongest one.
Am I going to see unicorns?
No. It helps memory. Okay. It's really good for memory, and it's really good for focus. It gives you like a little extra juice mentally. Now, if you're a moron, you're not going to notice it. If you're bullshit, trust me. As someone who makes a living using his brain, there's certain things that you can take that are not bad for you, that are just nutrients that enhance brain function. You know what another one is? Creatine.
Creatine's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to do that?
Oh, yeah. Creatine's very safe. Creatine's one of the safest supplements. It's also...
what does that do, though?
It gives you... it adds water to your body. Your body has more water, and that's one of the functions of it. And it's one of the reasons why it makes your muscles bigger, it makes you stronger. It really does work as a fitness supplement. Like if you're training and lifting weights, creatine is one of the very best things you can take. Creatine, I would say beta alanine.
I gotta give you this thing that Weidman gave me. These herbal pills. Completely natural. He gave me, we were playing golf in Atlanta or whatever it was, with DC. Cormier was there. It was just the three of us went out, and I was, I get up in the morning, my back is killing me, everything, my joints are hurting. I get to the course, we walk around hills up and down all day, I'm like, I'm gonna be so gone in this thing. And why they take a couple of these, pills, we got these things that are completely herbal, and
what is it?
It's like I don't know, but it's with the key with the stuff is, I think why the key to me, and it's just do your favor, mark right now where you feel, how you feel everything I feel, when I talk about that, it's brutal. So just take 3 and how much you feel in in a few hours. I forgot it. And around the 9th hole, just you finger thing when you do when you first come back, and it's like, and I was literally come over with him too. It's amazing. I go, this is I go, can you give me, and DC got it too. DC got it. I have a wrestle, and I want to try them. I love, like, I go, I'm trying to figure out if the he brought back or what it was. Gave it to me again. Same thing. That's amazing. So I can have those on this year to find out what they're so good. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I want to like, I'm going to do it. I have something. Try it. Yeah, just try it. Just put out how you feel. Go right pain. Because if you go, I don't love it. It might be the case. If you I did it, and they ran out, couldn't get them, and then they got them again. Everybody was yelling, it's for the most out of it. It's safety. It's just empty. I'm shape now. It's really working with me, and I'm like, well, I can work out, I can do it. Well, I stepped on my again. Yeah, I'll find out from him. It's all natural stuff, but the thing about it is, it's all from behind it. But the key, what they said in these things is like the guys very wide, like just when you get into it, I'm trying to activity room and they like most of the stuff people sell it anyway, and it's like stuff, it's like crap in there. He throws out like 7% of the stuff. I don't know what. I just want it. I want to give it to my family. I want to do that. I'm stronger guys. Yeah. You gotta help each other. I'm living right now. I feel like doing that athletic, go back to work, I get shit like crazy, or wearing clothes and sweaters and, Well, yeah. I started with Taylor. I can't believe that that's something like a gold face and something like this thing. We already did it. We already did that. I did it on what Tuesday, where I tried to work it like 6 days a week and just have one day to eat what you do. You do it that way. And I thought you come in with talk and get with me and work with you know, so you did one day, you're going to destroy everything. And I know, came out with the whole time. People don't really like it. Like, you know, I'm saying to you, know, like, when people go on the foodies, you know, like, one day, you destroy it. Yeah, there's the food thing. That's crazy. That's fair enough. And it's the craziest thing is they're just food because you have to eat. It's not like heroin. If you're addicted to heroin, like, oh, I've got a heroin problem, I'm going to take a little bit of heroin. Right. No, you're going to go full bore. You're going to be fucked. Yeah. It's one of the very few things where you're addicted to it, and you got to not be addicted to it anymore, but yet you still need to eat it. Well, what? Yeah, that's crazy conundrum. And most people find that's right. I can't because he's giving me the diet it's very simple. I mean, by the way, who needs another grown man to tell you what to eat? You know by now. Right. You know, seriously, you know. It's same thing with working out. You don't know, move your body. Whatever it is, you know what to do. You may not know the intricate stuff of like split squats and this and that, work this thing, but general health, you know what. I got to move my body more, eat better foods, less processed foods. We know it. Yeah. But yet, man, I can't. That's what this documentary is. You do. You come along with the community. It's like we're Dolce, we're on a movie together. We don't eat community. Give me the meals. Every other day, it's going to work together. And the one that keeps you doing it. As long as you eat your just your body works the same. Your body will but if I'm in that same mind space, there's steak there, but it's next to potatoes, gravy, a bowl of pasta, ice cream, then I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to get another 7,000 calories. I'm going to keep going. But if I just eat the steak, then my body starts to process. Instead of eating carbohydrates, only needing protein and fat, your body goes into the ketogenic state, think better, gives you an extra year to thinking. The ketogenic thing is, I mean, that for me is work. It's because Dolce will leave me to saying like he's like, you know, when they say you very, you know, carbs, he's like carbs are fine, like the right carbs. There's nothing wrong with carbs. Right. It's a fuel for your body. Right. But what I'm saying is, if you're trying to lose weight, one of the best ways to regulate your appetite is a carnivore diet, because you don't overeat with it. But I think it's deeper than that for me. I think it's mental. I think it's like anything will work. I fasted that, you know, like I've done everything. You know, it all works for a while. But why am I this size now? You know, every time I'm like, you know. Just recently, I started hearing myself other people they get better than themselves. They really don't do that concept for you. Because when I was doing it, people start doing my own stuff. I'll do a collective back, start more movement stuff, but I walk around and then you get the next day, you can do it. And that, those guys, walk the dog, fix the band, and walk the in my gym. I do. You can show them, you go, they what you do. It's like, violence on like that. The worst is that's what. It's a funny thing. Like, I go in the chicken glass. I go, you just do it. You're having a room, this is great. Yeah. They really like the only something that you get me is I am not going to but you can't engage with that everything. You can't get good people actually you doing it with your music. It's in the wall. But that's what was on me. And I'm like, I don't know. You didn't even like that? I don't know. It's really funny about it, right? And that indulgence is
俺の血を引いていながらこの程度か。俺を殺さなければより多くの人間が死ぬことになるぞ。
But I feel like I have the same, almost the same thing that you have. Get really into we started jiu-jitsu. We started jiu-jitsu. Yeah. What do you think? That was in jiu-jitsu, right? Like, you were the one who brought me down. And there, you know, think about it. There was like a strong comment, right? You know what I mean? And that's what I had, like,
10年もお前は全てが浅い。
And I play that game because I can never catch up to a lot of those parts only behavior you get stuck in. And if you're unlucky, you can get a bad behavior pattern and constantly quit it. Right. But if you're lucky, I got very lucky that when I was 15, I got obsessed with martial arts. Right. Because that was the first thing I ever did in my life where I didn't think I was a loser. I was like, I realized that
Admiral, a few city blocks have been lost. The top brass has given us attack orders.
Transform your life. So my
C'est inutile. Ignorez ça.
Reben,
donnez la priorité au sauvetage des survivants.
From 14, 15, I was insecure. I get bad social anxiety. We moved around a lot. I get picked on a lot. And I went from that to being that's a different human being. I was fighting all the time. It wasn't like the fear of like conflict was pretty much gone. Because I was just engaging like all the country. All my time. So I got in my head that the way to feel better, to get life to improve, is to just fucking dig in and go and don't ever quit. Don't fucking quit. Because I got lucky that that's something that I fell into when I was 15. I often think about, we're getting ready to ride the speed, but the line on the baseball game is like really fast. So we just sort of walked up like John Lee, who was a champion
ここに俺はザ・キング・オブ・アイアンフィストトーナメントの開催を宣言する。
And I was like,
己の拳で 栄光を勝ち取るがいい。ただし、力は示せぬ弱者は国ごと消えてもらうことになる。さあ、全人類よ、世界を闘争で満たせ。
Most people don't have that. Like you have everybody who has the intensity in the beginning. You know, when they see something like, I want to do this. I want to say, I do. Like everything, I get all pumped up. I'm like, this is it. This is all I want to do. And then it's like, you don't want to suffer. You don't want to put the the work. Yeah. That's the difference between we both love jiu-jitsu. Well, to love something you gotta know it. You have to know it, right? You can't love something you don't know. Well, I love it. Oh, you know what I don't love? Obviously, I don't love the mornings, getting the cold gi on. You know, there's things about getting in with saying getting on the mats, they're sweaty, they've been there since like 5 o'clock in the morning. I got to travel to do it. It's going to hurt. These guys are coming after me. You know, it's like, you're in there and I'm nervous and so I stop. I get back into it. You know, I'll let it go for a while. You go through that and you become, you overcome those little things, and it's like, that's how you grow. It's like, I get right up to the edge of it, and I'm like, so I don't love it as much. It's like, you commit, you have to suffer. You have to suffer, that's the only way you're going to show your love for anything, is you got to suffer for it. There's got to be that, you overcome that. Otherwise, you don't, you die. You have two people, everybody has two people. Everybody has the person inside of them that wants to go to sleep, right? The person inside of them that wants to quit. That guy's winning, by the way. That's the guy that you see before you right now. And the other guy that's like, no, this is what you need to do. Right.
But the problem is, with a lot of people, that other guy that's like, no, that's what you need to do, that person's really timid. And that person, they just, well, maybe it'd be better if we just went for a run. I'd shut the fuck up. I'm going to eat chips.
Right.
And that timid version of you is what you need to cultivate into being like the boss.
Right.
That's the boss. So I have a boss. My boss is that voice.
Yes.
I let that voice win every time.
I love it.
That voice says, shut the fuck up and get in the cold water.
That's dying to yourself, man. That's literally saying, I'm not going to where I'm comfortable. I'd much rather do this. I'm sure much rather do something than jump in a cold plunge every morning. Get a cup of coffee and go hang out and talk. You do that, and that's something I need to do more. Like we all do. It's like, it's the only way you're going to embrace it and get better at things. I'm trying, literally flying. Like I said, I drive everywhere these days, and it was getting so much that I'm like, I'm afraid of flying, but I'm like, I gotta just die to myself, just do this. You're gonna be fine. Just do it. And each time you do it, you're like, all right, we did it. Yeah. And you have a bad flight, you're like, I'm not doing it again. But it's like, it's,
you just gotta give the boss strength.
yes.
Yeah, and the boss has to win a bunch of battles, and when the boss wins a bunch of battles, then he wins them every day, and eventually the boss becomes a louder voice. And then you get it to the point where the boss gets to tell you what to do, and you don't need to. And even though you have all this feelings, every time I lift the lid on the cold punch, I'm like, let's not do this. Every time. But the boss is like, shut the fuck up. The boss gets mad if those voices pop up. So like, I'll make you do an extra minute, bitch.
Right.
Get the fuck in there.
I love it.
And, there's two pieces of advice I would give comics, or just young men in general. Aspire to be the person you pretend to be when you're trying to get laid.
Yeah.
Just be that person.
Yeah.
Instead of pretending to be that person, become that person.
Right.
Become a person that you would admire. You can do. It's possible to do. If you can pretend to be that person, you can actually be that person.
Right.
Aspire to be that person. And then the second one is, live your life like a documentary crew is following. Live your life like as if you wanted the whole world to go, wow, that guy's really killing it. Like, I love the way that guy handles it. And then you're gonna fail. You're gonna fuck up. You're a human. Everyone's gonna fall into just go back with the same effort. Get back into it with the same mindset. Live your life like a documentary crew is following you around. How would you want to be? Well, be that person. Actually be that person. Become that person. You can become that person.
It's funny. We're doing that now, and it's like we started in January, and I think it might have went up. I don't even know. Like, it's like you have to go down, and then it's like you're right. And if you don't want to show it off, because that's what it is. It's your struggle. By the way, I went off and I'm coming. I was here every day. Great place to work. I think it's really moved on. Wild tigers. So there's more tigers, actual tigers, in captivity, in private collections in Texas than there are of all of the wild of the world. That's insane. Well, you just told me. I need zebras and tigers. Yeah, I drove by a place the other day that had giraffes. People have giraffes. It's you can have whatever the fuck you want. If it's your land, they just leave you alone. Like, it's your land. You do whatever you want, And they love and the comedy here. Booming. I went and I got my beard trimmed and they like they want Holy shit, Brian Simpson lives here. Tim Dillon lives here. He's got a house. He's got multiple houses. He lives everywhere. But there's so many killers here. It's just every night you go to that club and it's just packed with great comedy. You know what it is? I'm telling you. It's community. Yeah. I don't have that. Like when I have it in, little bursts when I'm with people on a movie set or whatever it is, but it's like I don't have that in my everyday life. I need that. I really think that's a big thing. Because I need the hype man. I need to be in that group where you just start doing it. I did one training camp with Weidman and those guys, earlier on, and with Aljo and these guys, and I just jumped in with them, and it's like I was with them for I don't know a few weeks, 3 weeks, and then I had to go out, but it was like you developed this brotherhood. Yes, it was so much fun. It was going through everything. You're eating together, you're running sprints together, and I was like, whoa, this is really, really cool. That's one of the great things about fight teams, especially like Cerro Longo. It's like those guys are so tight. They're all friends. Always. Such a tight group. And they got so many killers there, too. Oh, my gosh. Christ. Aljo, Marab. This is the funniest thing ever. I came my first day.
Use Kayak to book flights on days that cost less. Download the Kayak app now.
On the camp, whatever, and they were sparring in the octagon. And I had my headgear on. And everybody's pairing off with everybody, just in Weidman goes, when Longo's setting it up, just you guys go with you guys, everybody switch it around, this and that. And I was like worried because I was crazy. I don't want to go in, just get in there, mix it up. And I'm going, I'm not even a fighter. I can't do this, whatever. I got in there. Everybody else, Aljo knows me, these guys know me. Marab thinks I'm a fat old fighter. Like he thinks he doesn't know anything. I get the headgear on. He doesn't recognize me as an actor. And he starts dancing around and going, whoa, I know right away he doesn't know I'm not that guy. He thinks I'm a guy in the camp. And he just going crazy. And I go, oh my God. And I'm like, so funny. And this guy's moving around strange on me. I mean, I took it for a while. He was the sweetest guy ever, but I got rid up by him. I had to get up. And he's over his shoulder, and he walks him over to his front yard. Around like he's a kid or like he's fucked up. Oh man, he's It's really you know, yeah, he's real bad. I love that dude. And that's so when he was in his spot, yeah, he would love it. He's like, just get so fired up. They fucking love him. They love. Look at that. Look at him. That's Henry Cejudo. That is. You have to understand how crazy it is that he's carrying around that guy on his back. Like that
with
guy,
a smile.
Yeah,
I mean,
2-division UFC champion. He won the flyweight medal, or the flyweight belt, and he won the bantamweight belt. And The Rock is literally spoiled. That is so wild to If you open up the door because you realize that one of the questions at the comic part of it. We don't just get it. We're back at the store. Yeah, and some of the best shows that we would have all year was Tuesday night, Wednesday night shows. Fight. We'd go there and so everybody each other. I look it right away. And those things like that, the other and that's Wrestling DC. That's ridiculous. Wrestling DC or playing golf. That was the fun.
I go in to pummel him, just messing around while he's holding the golf club, and you just feel, you're like, oh my gosh.
The bear.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, DC's bear. 2-division champion, man.
You're almost like, you're playing with him, but you get scared. It was like I was with Boss. When you introduced me, you got me to Boss. When I met Boss, I remember it was just the King of Queens started, and I was like, we could have this guy come and train us. This guy that we used to watch, what was it on Pancrase.
Yeah.
And he had the high boots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, whoa, man, we can get this guy to the, to our dressing room, and we can work out with him. I had a whole stage on set where we trained. And I brought him in the first day. We did his name right. Conversation going, like that. I just didn't really know what's going on. Really just looking at me. I left the room, and I felt like I was in the room with like a leopard. Like where you go, with your feet, as long as you're feeding a conversation, it's okay, keep feeding it, listening to it. But he was just looking at me, and I ran out of conversation. I ran out of conversation, I'm like, and he just looked at me, and I'm like, things could go. He was the
first guy that the UFC the guy that I knew who he was one of the very first high-level strikers that moved into fight. And boxing, that instead of bitch slap, he would just palm like a punch, spear, and he would say, this punch was this, because he hit the bone, and he would just whip the bag. Yeah, he whipped the bag with his like his hands, like, my hand doesn't really very much back everything we are is a thing. You know, you could go like, you could go to I mean, we grew Matt from my and I remember when he would come over and train and, you know, we started on our knees and stuff like that. And I remember one time, we would just start on our knees and we were locked up. And I remember I outmuscled him. I pulled him to the side. And then 2 seconds later, he reversed me on. I was like, oh, but I got him. It was pretty sick. But, you know, and the next go we had, he pushed me, you know, like, he rolled me back. I thought it was my knee, but it was my big toe. Oh, here. So, yeah. Never got rid of it. So these pills help. These pills help. I see everything. I'm telling you, pills should be in the back of a wagon. Dude. This is for everything. Diarrhea. I just want to make sure. Nobody, you gotta be like, you didn't know. Which I love. I think they do something. I guarantee if you're having that kind of experience with them, they do something. I wish I knew what they were. I'll find it out. Well, I'll find it out for you. I don't want to do it now when we don't have it. Why don't you go grab them? Go grab them and bring them in here. I want to know what they are. Otherwise, we'll be in. How are you going to know? You can look at it and know what they are? Yeah. Well, is it just a pill by themselves? It's a pill by themselves. Oh, no bottle? No. Sketchy. No. It's not sketchy. I promise you it's not sketchy. No, because it was I'm telling you. We will figure it out. Okay. Just you're going to love this stuff. Yeah. And then, no, I think you will. You and I will sit down with this stuff with Y-Man, and I'm telling you, we're gonna save the world with this stuff. If an old man is telling you this, I am, I'm telling you, it's the one thing. It's like, we're both old now. Isn't that wild? Remember you kids? Never thought you were gonna be an old man. Never. How am I gonna be an old man? How is that possible? I'm a young guy. I'm always still a young guy. Yeah, that's exactly it. Also, you never got beaten down by life, right? Because you have a great job. Right. It's like if you have a job that sucks, you can get beaten down by life. Oh, yeah. But if you have a job like we have, we enjoy our job. It's like a thing. It is what we do for work, but it's also what we enjoy. Right. It is work, but it's fun. It's great. There's nothing, so the stress in work is different. Yeah. But they say you're only as happy as your least happy kid, right? I mean, that's true. That's true. So it's like when you got that going on, it always balances that out where you're like, man, the greatest life here ever. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I got to deal with this. Yeah. And, it's not easy for kids. No. Like, especially today with social media and just the weirdness of the world. And, I mean, if you're a fucking kid today, you're a 15-year-old kid and you're in high school and you see what the president is, you're like, what? Right. That's the guy running the world? Like, what is happening? How crazy is this? And then you've just gone through COVID, so everyone's confused. Like, what happened? Why was I locked up for 2 years? Like, what happened? Now here you are, about to make it out there in the world, and you're on social media all the time. Right. It's a tough ride for kids today. It is a very, very, very tough ride with new challenges that we never had to experience. Dude, my oldest daughter is on the spectrum, and so we started seeing, this anxiety, this disconnection, and she developed, these tics, I mean, like really bad, where she started hitting herself, like couldn't uncontrol. She's a big, strong girl, she was about 16, 15 at the time. And, I remember, I mean, it was so scary for me that I had to lay on her at night and hold her down. And I'm pretty sure she was hitting so hard and she's apologizing. She's like, I'm sorry, I'm doing it. I'm like, are you kidding me? It broke my heart. So we brought her to the hospital. We went to the hospital to find out what we didn't know what this was. And
where it was coming from. So they got her to calm down, and she was still ticking and stuff. And I talked to the neurologist, and I guess I don't know, the doctor, and I go, what is this? What can we do? And he basically said, she's developed these tics. It's like, this is something you're just going to have to learn to deal with. You're going to have a child like this. You have to prepare that you and your wife are going to have to, deal with this for the rest of your life. There's got to be a different way. He's like, there's no way of really, you don't know what, And I went, oh man, it crushed me. So it was like, me and my wife were like, what do we do? And my wife read this book. She was just doing all this crazy research, and she found this book, Disconnected Kids, and it was by Dr. Robert Malilla. So, I got involved with him. I called him, and he literally took me to, I know what this is. He was okay. He says, I can work with her, and we were just at, like, we were lost. We didn't know what to do. I mean, violent. It was like, so we took it to this doctor, and within 2 weeks, no drugs, anything, 2 weeks. Tics were gone. And he said, they're going to still be there. They're going to come up every once in a while. Fixed her. And I'm like, whoa. It blew my mind, man. It's like, so I was like, I just want to give other parents hope. And I knew another guy who had a daughter who was severely autistic. And, she was nonverbal and, violent too. And he said, he goes, and he worked with them, and she's getting so much better, and now it's speaking, and it's an amazing thing this guy does. He's great.
How's he doing? What is he doing?
I don't know. He works with the brainwaves, and again, not a doctor, but there's no medication in there involved, which was very important, because that's what they were recommending at the hospital. Just put her on some medication. I'm like,
Turn into a zombie.
Exactly. I can't do that. And she's so much better now. She still has the tics every once in a while, but she's great. She's connected. He gets her connected. He does all these like brain things, and he works with the, and how it all ties into the motor, whatever that is.
It's so fascinating.
It is. And he's another guy who's like, I really, is this it? Yeah, your assistant.
Okay.
No name.
No name for it? What do you mean there's no name? What do you mean there's no name? Okay, so it has ashwagandha, shatavari, cabbage seed, fenu, Greek seed, papali, guaduchi, shijalit, shilajit. I've heard of that stuff before. I've heard of shilajit, gokshura, and sunthi. Oh boy. Well, that's
I think it's not that the ingredients are that unique. I think it's the fact that the way they do it is, that he says he doesn't use anything that's been, like, he throws out the majority of it, that's why it's hard to come by. And it's like active ingredients for everything. They could sell you all the stuff, but if you don't get it from the right place, it's just not going to do anything. Whatever it is, I give it to you.
Real. Okay. I'm interested. I've never tried ashwagandha. Here's something that has
The same. I'm not saying this is it.
Influx 650 herbal supplements. So healthy skeleton, muscular response. Maintain healthy skeleton. Another thing to do. For me, I want it for me. Yeah. And I know I'm not gonna, if it does, I sense to be like, I'm like, if it's not working, it's not working. What's that? If it works for me. Dolce has it. Yes. Okay. That might be it. It must be it. If it's on his website, that's it. Info 650. That's it. But yeah, it works. It's brought up. It works. Yeah, some of them really good. That's the good thing.
Start seeing the documentary really the process gets like I'm going to do a movie right now. Like every time I try to get a shape program, I have to get a shape. Things like the right thing. I would pull out a shape right. It's like so that's it. I mean, I saw a movie years ago where an exorcist like and I wanted to be really or like the video story. So I wanted to be a little different. Be, you know, right in the part and just have a different character. So I got down to 230. I really worked hard, you know, like that's low for me. And shot it and thought we were done with it. And I got to pick up a couple scenes on 280. Dude, I'm gonna have to look like either right in this priest got stung by a bee and just swelled up, or I gotta get cheaper. So I gotta get back down to that again. How much time? I have as much as I will shoot it when I'm ready, but it's like it's waiting there to do a couple scenes.
50 pounds. How long does it take you to lose?
I can lose it really quick. I can fast and lose it. Seriously, I can lose it in. I could lose it quick.
For 50.
I could do it in a month.
What? That sounds so insane.
Less than a month. I could do
really?
it. Yeah.
50 pounds? That's amazing.
I can do it fasting, just not, you know, but that's eating nothing.
Must feel like shit, though.
No.
No?
No, when I fasted, I didn't, you know.
How many days do you fast in a row?
You don't want to know.
How many days?
41 and a half.
What?
41 and a half.
You went 41 days with no food?
Water. And a little salt in the water, like a little electrolytes. And I lost.
Wow.
Yeah. See, when I lock on, I can do something. Oh, I know that. But that's crazy lock on. But that was such a practice before. It was meant to be like, I thought that I'm going to do this for you is something that I would do, you know, I do, and we can sort of open time to make. Shut it back and I didn't say, I just said, I'm just going to do it right now, we're both back right now. And I do that for and I literally went, okay, I gotta keep it. I couldn't stop then, right. So I just kept going a day at a time, you know, but it's amazing how your body. Yeah, there's that. Yeah. He was really big, right? Yeah. He was really big. It was pretty good for, you know, a while, and then you'd have to eat it. So, you know, you go back and I'm done. And then you fight through it, and like the next day you wake up, you're like, okay, you know, it's like, keep going. The body just says, all right, this is what we're dealing with. I literally wrapped up the 41 and a half days at We're Gonna Crack Up. I went to Pizza University, which is a university to learn how to make pizza. And I didn't really, I forgot I booked it, and I went home. And I go, I'm just going to kill it while I'm there. It was a 3-day course where you get like a little diploma, and I wanted to know how to make the dough and everything like that. And I was just starting like that. I just wanted to make it past 40 days. And I did
the whole thing, and I never ate a bite. Yeah, so it was crazy. But then you go back up to it. You know, it's like that's what the documentary is. The documentary is about the process and finding something where you can help people with their it is what you're talking about. Just get up and do something wrong. A little bit more each day is the truth. You know, so when you don't even know what you're that's the great part. It's one of the great things about you're in a group of everybody else is working like through great. Everybody comes out with more better. Very hard to do. It's very yeah. One on the you don't have it. Yeah, it's not a good life if you don't. Yeah, here's your model. I like hearing that. You're going to hear this in the first time. Like, I think it's good. Yeah. Down with it. Yeah, even from LA. Yeah.
이제 시작이야. 이제 좀 재밌어지는데. 럭키 펀치 같은 걸 맞아버리다니. 귀찮아. 가자마진 기묘한 힘을 가진 것 같은데. 그것도 포함해서 뭐야? 재미없어.
Ron White, he's always good. Ron White was before COVID. Yeah. Ron White, I remember calling Ron White. He goes, I'll still come to guys, still that stuff.
レイナか。
And so when the pandemic came around and we were looking for places to live, we had some friends that were coming to look in Austin. I was like, let's look in Austin. And we came and we saw this house on the lake. I was like, let's go. I had my buddy, Scott Voss. He lived in New York, like most of his life, in the city.
and then he just abruptly moved to New Braunfels, New Braunfels, and he's always like a bow hunter and all this stuff, and he loved that stuff.
That's what Boss is.
Bosses, yeah, they're great friends.
Yeah,
Boss
lives out here too now.
Yeah, I know the whole thing. Yeah, he's they're amazing, and he loves it. I'm always like, how is it? Like, are you missing? He's like,
Fight.
you can always do it. Yeah, I love to get that. Yeah, all the line. So it's like it's not in the craziness, right? But it's yeah, it really is. It really is. It's very right way. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, much more families. Mm-hmm. Yeah, much more.
Fight.
But here.
Well, I used to love working on the island. That was my favorite place to work. Governors.
Yes. Chuckles. Do you remember Chuckles?
Yeah. Is that Mineola? Is that
It
Mineola?
was in Mineola.
That's right.
Yeah.
East side was great. That was
Closed. And then they opened another one, Richie, and it just got away from him. It was just not a great, he took on a massive store, like a massive warehouse, and started rebuilding it and just got, in over his head and stuff. And, the boom was slowing down a little bit,
Yeah.
It just got tough.
Yeah, Long Island has always been a good place for comedy. There's always real good comics coming out of Long Island. There's always like a Long Island attitude.
Mhm.
Like you get guys who come into the city from Long Island.
I was always afraid of that. That was another move. Like, oh my God, making that move to the city. People are like, you gonna go to the city? I'm like, I'm not going to the city yet. I'm not ready.
I was so scared the first time I performed in the city. I was so
The
scared.
Cellar. Where'd you go? Boston Comedy Club?
No, Catch a Rising Star.
Yes, me too. Louis Ferranda.
Yes.
Yes.
I was so terrified.
Wow.
I thought I was gonna bomb. I was so nervous. I've never been more nervous for a show in my life.
Because all the greats went through there,
I remember I watched a video that was online of Rich Pryor. I guess back then I must have watched a tape. We're talking about like the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
It must have been a tape, but I watched a VHS tape of Rich Pryor on stage at Catch. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to perform in the same place. And I knew Richard Belzer had performed there. I knew it was just a legendary club. I couldn't believe I was there. I couldn't believe I was there. I couldn't believe I was allowed to be on the stage.
Me too, man.
Yeah, but when it went okay, it went good. I was like, okay. And then the next show I did the city, I was like loose. I was like, this is just a crowd. These are just people.
That's it.
And then I just got loose. But the allure of the city was always like, you can't trick them.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be the smart people. Like, you can trick all those losers that come to see you at a bar in the middle of Massachusetts. But you're going to go to New York fucking city. You better have your act together.
Mm-hmm.
And your act has to be tight.
End up New York, the comic strip.
Mhm.
Comic strip. Remember Eddie Murphy was
Yeah,
there.
that was a
I'm like,
tough
oh my
one.
gosh, Eddie was here.
Yeah.
And you see that Chris Rock, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, the clubs in New York, there was so many. Boston Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Dangerfield.
I played in front of like 3 people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
1 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
At Dangerfield.
Yeah. I was there once, Dangerfields, and my spot was at 9:30, and I got there at 9 o'clock, and everyone was by the bar. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, there's no crowd. And while we were there, 2 people showed up. You remember Bobby?
Oh, he put the show on? Yeah,
Yeah,
it was crazy, Bobby.
Welcome to Dangerfield. We just brought him in.
You started the show.
Down, and
Yes.
the show started.
Yes.
And we all did stand up for 2 people. They were like held hostage. How could they leave? All right, we're going to get out of here. This sucks. Like, what? There's 5 more guys coming.
There was something about back then that I miss so much. That I guess it's the community again, but that whole drive to
Yeah.
the newness of being in these clubs, the Comedy Cellar,
Also, we didn't know if we were going to make it.
That's it.
Back then, you were like, am I going to be a real professional, or is this just bullshit? Should I think about getting a job?
Right. I quit my last job way early. Yeah, I was working at a place called Granger in the warehouse, just pulling orders. It was like an industrial equipment company, and I hated it. It was so hot, and I'm like miserable. And I'm doing I'm doing an improv class and like a couple dates I have here and there, and I was like, I think I'm gonna turn into comedy. I think I can make a living with this stuff. And it's like, pulled out way too, living at home, my folks, and it's like, I might have pulled out a little early, but
But that's the way you do it, though.
Yeah.
You'll find jobs and things to do to make money while you're struggling.
Right.
Fight.
But if you have a net, you fall.
Right. You're right.
That's you have to be 100% all in, because in the beginning, like in the first days when you and I knew each other, we were just like kind of opening acts,
Right.
which is like you're not really making much money.
Right.
Maybe you could headline some little scrub room in the middle of nowhere,
Right.
make a couple $100 that night, drive to Connecticut, so it was precarious. Like, who knows what's gonna happen? I could fall, but we all knew guys who fell apart. There was guys who were like headliners,
Yes.
big comics, and they just fell apart. They fell apart. They couldn't handle it for whatever reason.
It's weird. Fear of success, or just like whatever it is, they didn't know how to go to the next level.
I think for them, it's a lot that they didn't have community. I think back then, even more so than it's a problem now, it was way more of a problem back then because everybody was in competition with each other.
Right.
Nobody looked at other people like other people that are just like me that are out there doing great, and so that's awesome for everybody.
Right.
Back then, like, if you and I were friends and there was a Tonight Show host spot available and they were going to talk to you and they were going to talk to me, we couldn't be friends anymore.
Right.
Then, like, the people would, like, turn on each other. They would backstab each other, like the famous David Letterman and Jay Leno things.
Right.
But Leno's, like, hiding in the closet.
Closet,
Yeah.
listening to...
Yeah, it was like they were in competition with each other. It was
Did you have a group of guys in Boston around you, like when you first started, or no, was it just you?
Me and Fitzsimmons were always tight.
Right.
And we started out literally a week apart from each other in open mics.
Right.
And then Chris McGuire, I was always tight with Chris, and there was a few guys from that era that I stayed friends with. That we did a lot of road gigs together, and we were tight, and that was real fun.
Mostly Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons, I do it. Allen, Pennsylvania. Yeah, but that's the only way to do it. But if you lift someone else's it wasn't a group like you had. That was a real brother and sister.